Hello and welcome to another episode of Ross on Cars. I'm Ross Furlong and this is my Tesla Model S 75D. Right, so 3 years have gone on this contract with Tesla for this Model S. The sun is literally setting on this contract, and I just thought I'd do like a review really of ownership over 3 years, this 75D, which I bought 3 years ago from Tesla Chester direct, and it was in a favourite spec of mine at that time. It probably still is, which is this sort of midnight metallic silver. It's got the 21-inch carbon turbine wheels. It's got a black interior, and it's got quite a few nice features which I'll take you through in a minute. I think that's the spec I would still choose. Actually, I think it looks best in these colours, and I've enjoyed owning it. It has been a very easy car to live with, a very intelligent sort of car, I would say, and lots of pluses. Would I buy it at the end of the 3-year contract? No, though, because one of the problems I've had with this, on paper at least, is that it's depreciated like a brick. It's just crazy. For a £75,000 car, almost 7 years ago, these are selling for 16 on Auto Trader now. That's about an 80% depreciation over 7 years, which is above average by far. Even something like a 530e BMW is not depreciated like that. I'm looking at about 20 grand for one of those, 15 for one of these. I mean, this will go off to car auction when they pick it up, and I'm tempted to go and see what it goes for, because I can imagine they must be selling them for trade for near enough 10k, which is extraordinary. Amazing value for a car. Though the problem with that, if you did go and do that, the battery warranty only lasts another year, so it goes to the end of I think December 2026, and Tesla won't extend it. You have to go third party, and I understand that's about 1,500 quid a year. So it's tricky to, though these look incredible value at the moment, you are getting to a bit of a risky area, if you like, if you start buying them at 7-8 years old, in that the warranties no longer hold. But my God, what a car! Super fast. This is the 75D, 426 brake horsepower, but how it applies it, my word, there's not much that can stick with this, and I love that about it. And I'd be very interested in the P100D actually as a potential replacement, although again the warranty thing is a problem, so we'll see. But anyway, there's lots of things I really love about this car, having owned it for 3 years. So I'll just get in it, drive it about a bit, and sort of point out a few of the best bits and see what you think. Right, so one of the first things to say about this Model S 75D is how easy it is to drive. You just hop in it, bang down this column like an American, also an American car. It's the gear stick, if you like, gear lever, and off you go. It's so easy, so easy. It's a big, spacious car, so I've always found it sort of super easy to get into. It's made even easier because when you walk up to it, because you've got the key in your pocket, the whole thing just opens up, and the door handles obviously come towards you, which was Mr. Musk was very keen on having as a feature. It's just very, very easy, and when you want to slow down, I rarely use the brake. I'm just using the accelerator just to sort of come off, and that slows it down. And I've kind of stopped doing this lately because I'm just so used to it, but its real party trick is this. Oh my God! So that was up to 50 miles an hour in no time at all, and it's just so fast, this car. I mean, I know it's not even the fastest Tesla. Who knows what the Plaid's like? That must have been an insane experience, but the 75D has been plenty fast enough for me over this last 3 years. I haven't ever felt like I needed something any faster. And in fact, when someone's tailgating you and you can look in the rear view mirror, in this car it's not really an issue because you just know that you can disappear them very, very quickly if you want to. So it's been an absolute joy from that point of view. The performance is just fantastic. And it's actually addictive, I think, particularly on dual carriageways and getting onto motorways and things. It's such a thing. having had, you know, M5s and Porsches and lots of fast cars in the past, there's been nothing as fast as this. Nothing I've driven has felt as fast as this. It's just crazy, and that's partly why I'm really into the idea of maybe trying to buy a P100D, especially as there's such value now. They were £130,000 new, P100Ds. Tesla's selling them for sort of 30 something now. If you go off Tesla, who seem to be, you know, obviously a lot pricier than buying it from a normal garage, 25, something like that. Again, the warranty is an issue, but you know, if you're willing to take a little bit of a chance, I don't think it's that risky. So yeah, it's unbelievable from a performance point of view. And but it's not like it, you know, it's all it does, and that you feel like you're you know, you have to go fast all the time. It actually feels that you don't need to do that. You can just poodle around, and I take this on the school run all the time, and there's loads of room in the back, of course, because there's no engine, so there's just tons of space in this thing. It's something like 750 cubic feet or something. You know, it's just crazy the amount of space in it. There's space in the front. So we just poodle around, and the kids really like Spotify on the dashboard here. So this massive screen has been brilliant as well. Now, how many times in the past have you squinted at your sat nav to try and find out where it's taking you? This thing is massive. I mean, it's, you know, it's like bigger than A4, isn't it? So, and it's very smart as well. It'll tell you when there are problems on the roads and which way to go to avoid them, and it's all very clear. Love this screen. Brilliant screen. You sometimes find you're looking a bit too far down for some of the buttons, which is a little bit risky, which I guess is why they've moved it all up for the later models. But such a shame they haven't done a right-hand drive of the new Model S. I mean, what's that all about? It's just, wow. I mean, they could have sold, you know, a lot, I would have thought, but hey, you know, I'm sure they made a commercial decision there and decided it wasn't worth their while. But yeah, it's the Spotify here, and what we do normally is the children will yell out a song they want to hear, and I'll just press this button here and speak it into the dashboard, and then more often than not it pops up. So yeah, just great. That it's so easy to live with, and I think I'm going to really miss all that stuff with it. It's so simple, obviously, being a Tesla. Everything's so, there's hardly any buttons. And it's been good on these A roads. I live in the country, and it's quite bumpy here, lots of potholes. I'd say at some points, if you start to hammer it down an A road like this has got the adaptive, the air suspension on it, which is meant to sort of learn the road config, you know, the road you're going down, and adjust accordingly. But I do find that sometimes it's a little bit, it feels like it's kind of coasting on top of the road a bit. I don't really feel that well connected to the road sometimes, a little bit of a disconnect. It's probably not actually happening, it's just how it feels in the car, so it can feel a bit sort of, you know, a bit bumpy going down these roads. The ride is very comfortable, particularly on motorways, and it's very quiet. So most of the time it's, you know, it's fine. You just do notice if you're pushing on a bit on an A road, on a bumpy A road, it does tend to be a little bit bouncier than you might otherwise want it to be. But that's, you know, I mean, it's a small thing, and the acceleration that you get here just really kind of makes up for that. It's a big car. It's 2 meters wide, 5 meters long, but it doesn't really feel like it, I would say, when you're driving around. It doesn't feel, you know, like it's too big a car for these roads. It's a hatchback, importantly, and I can get dogs in the back. If I was looking back on the sort of comparisons to see what other sort of cars were rivals to this back in 2018 when it was first on the market, and that, oops, sorry, there wasn't really anything that was fully electric that rivaled this. This was sort of it was a school of one. This. The 530e BMW hybrid was similar sort of price, and then you had, I think, the Mercedes C43 saloon. But those are both conventional saloons, of course, without the hatchback, so and not fully electric. In terms of running costs for this, you take depreciation out of the equation, because thankfully I got this on lease, so it's Black Horse's problem, not mine. Tesla reckons they've got a very clever app which shows you your energy consumption and how much it's saving you versus petrol, and they think it's saving me about £800 or £900 a year over the 3 years I've had it versus petrol. I charge it overnight, which is by far the cheapest way of doing it. Charging it overnight, really, it's always full by the time I get up in the morning, and it's fine. That's far cheaper than using the superchargers, which I think are 21 pence per kilowatt, something like that. I've got the stats, I'll throw them up on the screen. But it feels very cheap to run from that perspective, from a fuel perspective. And not having to go and put 100 quid's worth of petrol in it every couple of weeks, that's nice, really. That's staying away from those petrol stations is a nice thing. Build quality, I'd say, when you look around the car, it's still in very good nick for a 7-year-old car. There's not really, it hasn't, nothing that you'd spot that particularly is a problem. The only thing I'd say is that the wheels, these 21-inch alloy wheels, they are a little bit brittle. I have had to replace, or they had the left-hand front welded a couple of times because it's cracked. I don't know if that's me or whether that was to do with the car that I bought. But all our cars in the country here have this problem with the potholes. There's always a problem with the potholes. So it's not been any worse than any other car from that perspective, from a pothole perspective. But if you do want to replace them via Tesla, these supersonic carbine wheels, whatever they're called, they are something like 1,200 quid a corner. So, which brings me actually on to the Tesla service centres that I've experienced. When I picked this car up in Chester, it wasn't ready. I'd taken a long trip up from Kent to get there, and it was meant to be ready at whatever it was, 9 or 10. It wasn't ready until about 2 or 3 in the afternoon, and I almost walked away from it. So that wasn't great. The guy I was dealing with was brilliant. He did the best he could in the setup he had, but it just wasn't a very good setup. I think they're a bit understaffed. And at Dartford, it's pretty much the same deal, really. That's my local one. I've been there once. The place was rammed with people waiting to get stuff done, and I don't know, it doesn't fill you with confidence what you see them doing and how fast they deal with stuff. But I suppose the point is that these cars don't need much doing to them, really. I mean, it doesn't need a service like a conventional car would need one. It's there's not much that can go wrong with them, really. And also they do have a mobile guy that will come out and do some stuff. So I think I had a problem with, I think it was the water sprayer, the water jet for the front windscreen. So this guy just came out and fixed that. And they all do it via the app, so that's all great. I mean, all that stuff is brilliant. And I think, overall, I would definitely get another one of these. If I could get one that was a bit newer than 69 plate, which is the last of the right-hand drive ones. If I could get one that had a longer battery warranty, even in fact, if I could extend the battery warranty on something like this, I might even be tempted to go down to that car auction and try and buy it for 10k or whatever it is. But honestly, these cars, they're brilliant. They're absolutely brilliant. I couldn't recommend them more. to someone thinking about this against an RS6. That was always the test for me. I wanted a family-friendly car that was a bit sporty, that had some oomph to it, and the RS6 was the obvious choice. But I went for this in the end, and I'm so glad I did. It just feels so much more modern and sort of exciting and easy to live with than an ICE car. Yeah, it's just been brilliant, really. So I'm going to be sad to see this car go, really, at the end of October, I think it is when it goes. You never know. I might find myself down at BCA trying to pick it up for a song, knowing who the previous owner was, and taking the risk on the battery. So we'll see. But there you go. That's my 3-year review of the wonderful Tesla Model S 75D. Brilliant car. Elon, you're a genius. I'm sorry, but yeah, I think this car is light years ahead of anything else I've driven, and well, yeah, I'd have another one like a shot. So please consider, Mr. Musk, because I'm sure you're watching this, a right-hand drive version, please. Right-hand drive, plaid, conventional steering wheel. See, that would be very, very, very hard to turn down. Very hard. I mean, you know, that for me, that would be very exciting indeed. So anyway. Well, I hope you enjoyed that episode of Ross on Cars. It's been a while, but I'm going to try and do a few more this year, catch up with what I've been doing in the past. And if you did like this, oh, it's blinking at me. It's saying, don't sell me, don't sell me. If you like this, please press like down below and subscribe. I think next video up probably be a review of my Porsche 964, which has had a bit of work done to it lately. So I'd quite like to just take you through that. So hopefully see you again soon.